welcome to All About platform and very good afternoon to all of you. Hi, good afternoon everyone. I hope so. I'm audible properly. Am I? Okay. Hi, good afternoon guys. So as per the class schedule, definitely we have a topic RBI, Reserve Bank of India. But actually in your previous class, uh, we have already discussed the banking, introduction of banking, right? In your previous class. Am I right? Please let me know in the comment section. Hi. Hi. Okay, so we have not completed yet the banking part, especially. So in this session, we are trying to cover the we are trying to complete the introduction banking part 2, as well as we'll initiate the RBI part, as we have a two class of RBI. So don't worry about it. We can take just half an hour for this introduction banking part, and later in half we will cover or start the RBI, the Reserve Bank of India section. Are you okay with that? Are you guys okay for the same, right? I hope so. Okay, so just give me a minute. I'm flashing a one slide. So if you are watching this session in a recorded format, definitely you can put all your doubt in a doubt window. Either me or my teaching assistant will answer all your query. And please revise this slide so that it would be easy for me to start a previous class remaining topic. Okay, please revise this content again. And I'm just coming with my water bottle. Okay, so in our hi, very good afternoon guys. So in previous class we have already discussed the structure of the bank, right? Or we can say the type of banks. In your previous class we have discussed the scheduled banks, especially. Now in this session we have to cover the non-scheduled bank. Not completely we have to cover, because there's a very few question you will see from this segment, but yes, it is a part of our syllabus, so that is why we have to cover it. Hi. Now, first of all, let's talk about what is domestic banks. So the RBI has released a one framework for the detailing with domestic systematically important bank, or DSIBs. आपने definitely you have heard about the SIBs bank, right? 2014. Starting in 2015, the RBI is required by the DSIB framework to disclose the name of bank designated as DSIBs and place them in an appropriate bucket based on their systematic important score. Okay. Depending on the bucket in DSIBs is placed, an additional common equity requirement will have to be applied. Or the RBI has declared the State Bank of India, SBI, ICICI, HDFC as domestic systematically important bank, that is DSIB, on 4th January 2022. So this is a new part of your banking structure, right? Now, so generally we can call it as a some scheduled commercial bank are termed as a domestic bank. Now, what are the universal bank concept? So this is a bank is a financial service conglomerate that combine retail, wholesale, investment banking service under one roof and reaping range between them. These banks would benefit from economies of sales and information technology and access to capital. BNP Paribas, this is a bank of Universal Bank. Deutsche Bank, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan Chase. Then after Citigroup, Bank of America, UBS, Credit Suisse, uh, HSBC, Barclay, and are basically, these are some examples of universal bank. You have not seen these type of questions till now because this is a actually very current part of introduction of banking segment. Okay, so there are I don't think so I've seen a question from universal bank or the domestic banks part now, but still there's a part and the current part also completed, so that is why we are completing it. Differentiated banks. In 2014, the RBI released two guidelines for the licensing of new type of bank. Now this is a new type of bank declared in which year? 2014. First is payment bank and second is small finance bank. Okay, now let's talk about some small finance bank. Small finance bank, it is a public limited company. What it is? It is a public limited company under the Companies Act of 2030. So these are not under RBI Act 1934 Schedule 2nd. These are comes under the Companies Act 2030. Okay. Now, small financing bank will be granting a license under Section 22 of the Banking Regulation Act 1949. Now, what small banks actually can deal in a what kind of banking operation or business? So small bank offer a whole range of banking service, including you can deposit the amount of money, you can withdraw the amount of money, you can take a loan from the small finance bank, but have a limited area of operation like RRBs or like the cooperative bank. So the cooperative banks also have some restricted operation area criteria, right? Same in a case of a small finances bank, they are also restricted to operate from some restricted area. Otherwise, they will just work like a normal scheduled commercial bank. Example. Some examples of small finance bank, for example, AU Small Finance Bank, Equitas Small Finance Bank, Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, ESF Small Finance Bank, Sarvodaya. There are a lot of small finance bank are there in Indian states, right? Now, what are the payments bank? Okay, what are the payments bank? Payment bank is conceptualized by the RBI in 2015. Please keep in mind that you have to remember this regulation act of small finance bank part and same in a payment bank. So on the recommendation of a one committee named Nachiket More Committee, this question has been arrived. On the recommendation of Nachiket More Committee, the payment banks recommended in 2015 by RBI. These banks are registered as a public limited. Now this is a difference. See, payment bank are registered as a public limited company. These are also established as a public limited company under the Company Act 2013, under a Company Act 2030. Okay, same thing for two banks. The bank will be licensed as payment bank under Section 22 of Bank Regulation Act 1949, same part. Now, payment bank offer limited range of product such as demand deposit, acceptance, fund remittance, but have a large network of access point, especially in remote area. These banks can deposit an amount up to rupees 1 lakh only. It does not provide loan or credit card facility. So the question could be asked, chances that which of the following is not a function of payment bank? So this is not a function of payment bank. Clear? Now, example, payment bank, Airtel Payment Bank, India Post Payment Bank, Fino Payment Bank, Paytm Payment Bank, very important, and Jio Payment Bank. These are the payment banks established by 2015, especially the Company Act 2030. Okay, clear everyone? Sorry. the local area bank in our last chart. Okay, so in our last chart we have already discussed the local area, sorry, we have mentioned this word, the local area bank or LABS were established at low cost structure so that for providing efficient and competitive financial intermediation service in their area of operation in the rural and semi-urban area. These were introduced in 1996. So for the rural and semi-urban area, we gave the concept of local area bank. The scheme was launched with a minimum capital of rupees 5 crore or 5 crore, in which a local area bank. Some examples might be asked: Local Area Bank Limited, Coastal Area Local Bank Limited, Krishna Bhima Samruddhi Local Area Bank Limited, Subhadra Local Area Bank Limited. These are an example of local area bank. Okay. Now, moving to the next part, foreign banks, as you already know, the banks which are allowed to start his operation in India as a branch, otherwise their whole headquarter is outside the India, is termed as the foreign bank, right? Citibank, HSBC, Standard and Chartered are the foreign banks. Cooperative banks, I think we have discussed this part. Huh? Please let me know in the comment box. Small Finance Bank started same 2015 and registered at Act 2013. Okay. GPay is comes under basically GPay is it is not a bank type. GPay is a third party application. It is not a bank section part. We have covered this, right? Okay. Anonya Sehkari Mandli, I've told you. Actually, I've just written on a slide, but here's a slide of cooperative. You can check out. Yes. Characteristics, please check here. They were restricted operating region. The board of directors democratically elected by the shareholders. Borrowing from these institutions is limited to their members alone. This is a share linking for borrowing. That is a part of the amount borrowed will be contributed to a share capital. Members can only vote once, regardless of how many shares they own. These institution shares cannot be listed or traded. So these are the examples of cooperative bank. The next is urban cooperative banks. The urban cooperative banks cater to financial needs of customer in urban area and the semi-urban area, just like a local area bank, LAB. Urban cooperative banks primarily registered as a cooperative securities under the provision of State Cooperative Society Act of State Concern. If the bank operation extended in more than one state, it must be registered under the Multi-State Cooperative Society Act 2002. These banks have been licensed by RBI to carry on banking business and are therefore under the dual control of RBI and registered cooperative society. So their share stake is also divided between this part. Now, very important segment, and the segment is okay. See here. Development banks. So basically, development banks are specialized financial institution, as the name suggests, that are formed to promote economic development in the country. Okay, so there's a separate bank, the scheduled commercial bank, the private bank, foreign bank. These kind of banks basically indulge in a normal business operation. uh, they are also used by the citizen of India as per the loan category, but they do not participate in the development. Now for the development of economy, for the growth of economy, we actually form the development bank. They provide medium term loan and long term loans to entrepreneurs at a comparatively low rate of interest. A development bank does not accept deposit, very important segment, from the public like commercial bank and other financial institutions. India's first development bank was Industrial Finance Corporation of India, or IFCI. It was established in the year 1948. Some example, for example, Industrial Finance Corporation of India, IFCI, Industrial Reconstruction Bank of India, IRBI, Industrial Development Bank of India, IDBI, and very important, SIDBI. These are the development banks in India. So I'm not going to dive in a SIDBI or a NABARD part, because we are just still we are covering the type of banks. Okay, so that is why specialized bank are also there. Okay, specialized banks are also there. Banks that mainly focus to provide overall support for setting up business in a specific area of activity are known as specialized. So, for example, Exim Bank completely indulge in export and import business. Okay, apart from this particular service, they will not entertain any other kind of service. SIDBI, NABARD, completely for the agriculture part, completely for the development of infrastructure, for the entrepreneur. So these kind of banks are generally termed as specialized bank. SIDBI provide a loan for a small scale industry or entrepreneur. Exim Bank helps to loan or other financial aid for exporting and importing goods. NABARD completely giving the financial support to rural, handicraft, village or agriculture development. Okay, so these banks are termed as a special bank. The bank which is completely indulged in a one segment is termed as a specialized bank. Okay, now let's talk about the current merger of various banks. First of all, Dena and Vijay Bank. Dena Bank and Vijay Bank were merged with Bank of Baroda, BOB. Oriental Bank of Commerce and United Bank of India were merged with Punjab National or PNB. Syndicate Bank was merged with Canara Bank. Okay, so this is the criteria for this. Andhra and Cooperation Bank merged with Union Bank of India. Allahabad Bank was merged with Indian Bank. This was the oldest bank, as we know. State Bank of Bikaner. See, I think in yesterday's class, someone was asking for the subsidiaries. State Bank of Bikaner in Jaipur, State Bank of Hyderabad, State Bank of Mysore, State Bank of Patiala, State Bank of Travancore, and Bharatiya Mahila Bank. These banks were the once they were the subsidiaries of State Bank of India, but now all these banks are merged with SBI or just a State Bank of India. Clear? So this merger, just read the content, because I have not seen this kind of question in SSC from last 2 to 3 years regarding the banking structure or regarding the banking merger. Okay. Now, so here we have completed the structure or just the type introduction of banking part. Any doubts regarding this? Done. Is this done? Last slide. this. Okay. Just a minute. Okay. So done. Basically, now we have a next very huge topic, and the topic name is RBI, or we can call it as a Reserve Bank of India. In India, RBI is considered as a controlling, a main central bank of India, because for this point of view, this particular bank established. Now, let's discuss what was the history, how it established. See, about RBI, so basically, India's central bank is known as the Reserve Bank of India, or the RBI, and it is also called the Bankers Bank. Why? Because it is a bank. When the bank wants to lend money, if a particular scheduled commercial bank wants to borrow a money, they cannot go to the public. Otherwise, they have to go to RBI, and RBI will provide the money. So that is why the RBI is termed as the Bankers Bank. Okay, it is also termed as the Government's Bank, because this is the only bank which lend money, allow money borrowing to central government part. It is a regulatory body under the jurisdiction of the Ministry of Finance, Government of India. So basically, these two, the Government of India's Ministry of Finance can regulate the RBI, or Reserve Bank of India. It takes responsibility to regulate the Indian banking system, issue and supply Indian rupees, control the market structure, the inflation and different terminology, has a responsibility to manage all payment related system and work to promote its economic development. So this is the ultimate responsibility, we can say, for the RBI. Okay, Reserve Bank of India. Clear? Okay. Now, RBI was constituted. So, as you already know, that Central Bank of India, or RBI, was constituted to regulate and issue the banknote, to maintain the Indian reserves, to secure monetary stability, maintain and operate the credit and currency system of the country. Now, what was the history of RBI? So, this is defines you a particular structure of RBI, or how it was formed, right? See, the Royal Commission on Indian Currency and Finance. The other name is Hilton. Young Committee. This Hilton Young Committee actually gives the recommendation, which is also termed as Royal Commission on Indian Currency and Finance. This commission recommend the central bank, the apex bank actually, and was the first to recommend opening the central bank for Indian in 1936. Okay. RBI was established on 1st April 1935, when initially it was started or established as a private entity under the RBI Act 1934 with a paid up capital of rupees 5 crore or the 5 CR. Started operation on 1st April 1935 as the Central Bank of India. Now, the headquarter of RBI is also located or established in, initially it was established in Calcutta, but later on in 1911 it was shifted from Calcutta to Mumbai. Okay, so in a recent scenario, the headquarter of RBI is located in Mumbai. Clear? Any doubts here? Okay, now history of RBI. So then after, basically the RBI was established in 1935 under the RBI Act 1934 as a again private capital, right, or private entity. In 1949 we nationalized the RBI or the Reserve Bank of India on 1st January 1949 under the RBI Bank of India transfer to public ownership Act 1948. Clear, everyone? Okay. Whether there's any rule from Ambedkar. For RBI part, we can call it for the constitutional part, economic part, but not in the financial part. April Fool Day. Just keep the date in mind because these dates are important in a case of RBI or Reserve Bank of India. Okay. As you already know, the function of Reserve of India, I'm not going to discuss this, but the very important structure. Now, let's talk about the organizational structure of RBI. So, there are around the RBI, as you already know, that RBI is consist of one governor and four deputy governor, right? Now, again we need to resize it. So in a organization or in the composition of RBI, it is consist of 21 central board of director in RBI. 21. Now, one, the highest or the main post is the governor or a governor. Four deputy governor. Four deputy governor. Recently, I guess in a month of September, you heard the news that RBI is asking for the application for deputy governor post. Anyone read this news? Huh? No? Okay, leave it. Then after, so four deputy governor. Keep in mind, these five persons are very, very important in a case of RBI structure. Now, two finance ministries representatives, usually the economic affairs secretary and the financial service secretary. So two members from the finance ministry representative. One should be from economic affairs secretary and the second one should be financial service secretary. Now, 10 government nominated director. Basically, these directors are also associated or should be associated with the economic criteria or financial services again. Four directors who represent local boards from Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, and Delhi. Very important segment. This is your exam category have already asked this question. The 4 local boards of RBI established which of the following location? So Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai and Delhi. Clear? Huh? Okay. Now, see. The 1 governor and 4 deputy governor. This is the main structural organization. In a recent scenario, Mr. or Shri Shaktikant Das is the recent governor of RBI. Dr. M.D. Patra is the deputy governor. Shri M. Rajeshwar Rao is the deputy governor again. Shri Swaminathan J, deputy governor, and T. Ravi Shankar, deputy governor. So, as we already know, that the RBI's main structure is consist of 1 governor and these 4 deputy governor. Clear, everyone? Okay, now let's move to the next part. Now let's talk about some important currency management, because all we know that RBI is completely indulged in the bank note currency or something like this, right? So for the currency note especially, the RBI have some important currencies or have some important minting presses or printing presses unit. But before going on into the this finance department part, let's talk about the some important subsidiaries of RBI, which is very very important. Okay, so the subsidiaries of RBI subsidiaries like the branches of RBI, we can call it. First is DICGC. Full form is Deposit Insurance Credit. Okay, Deposit Insurance Credit Guarantee Corporation Limited. Okay, so the first subsidiary of RBI is DICGC, very very important. The second subsidiary of RBI is BRB NMPL. BRB NMPL stand for Bharatiya Reserve Bank. Note Mudran Private Limited. Okay, this is a second important subsidiary of RBI. The third subsidiary of RBI is Rebate. Rebate. Okay, Rebate stand for Reserve Bank Information Technology. Information Technology Private Limited. Okay. Fourth subsidiary of RBI is basically IFTS. Stand for Indian Financial Technology. Indian Financial Technology Flight Service. This is the fourth subsidiary of RBI, and the last subsidiary of RBI is RBIH, stand for Reserve Bank Innovation Hub. Okay, so this is a part which we have to cover in our subsidiary segment. Sometime actually in a banking, if you are targeting for the bank exam, no, in that case you have to cover each and every subsidiary completely, right? But in our exam, basically there's no need to cover each and every subsidiary, or there's no need to dive into a subsidiary part especially. Clear? Okay, but still I'm going to at least cover the establishment part and some the basic information of this subsidiary. Are you okay with this? Huh? Okay, so for example, let's talk about or start with DICGC especially. DICGC was established on 15th July 1978. This particular subsidiary was established in 1978, and as it already defined the completion name, that means the function of DICGC, we talk about the function of DICGC. So it governed by the provision of DICGC Act 1961. This is important. DICGC Act 1961 and framed by the Reserve Bank of India. Establishment by RBI. Okay, this is the main part or the corporation part of DICGC especially. Now, as the name suggests, the Credit Guarantee Corporation, that means DICGC was established for providing the insurance of the deposit amount and also guaranteeing of credit facility. Deposit amount, whatever the amount is deposited in a bank account. So basically DICGC did that insurance part of that deposit amount. If we talk about in a present scenario, DICGC insure each depositor of a registered insured bank up to maximum, the value is important, maximum of rupees 5 lakh. 5 lakh. More than this amount, the DICGC is not concerned with your deposited amount more than 5 lakh value. Okay, clear? And also this 5 lakh is also for all type of bank account. All type of account means the saving accounts, current account, FD and RD. Clear? Clear or not? Okay. Now, let's talk about BRB NMPL or Bharatiya Reserve Bank Note Mudran Private Limited. See here. Actually, only this is important. These two subsidiaries are important for our exam point of view. BRB NMPL, as it was a third subsidiary, we can call it as a of RBI, and it was established in February 1995. Okay, As a name suggests, Note Mudran Private Limited, that means this is a particular committee, subsidiaries, which is indulged in the note printing part. But again, the main part of this subsidiary is according to which act it was registered. So it was registered as Company Act 1956. Right, as you already know, the Note Mudran Private Limited, that means BRB and MPL is indulge in the supply of notes basically, and the demands of note is also important function of BRB and MPL. The headquarter of BRB and MPL is located in Bengaluru. It is in Bangalore, right? And this BRB and MPL has two presses, two press, or it's C. Look out the two presses which comes under the BRB and MPL. The first is Mysore, Karnataka, the Mysore printing press, and the second is located in Salboni. Salboni is located in West Bengal. So these two presses comes under, or the BRB and MPL manage the management of these two presses, the Mysore, Karnataka, and Salboni, West Bengal. Clear? Any doubts here? Okay, third fact. Actually, date is not so much important. Any other doubts now? No. Now let's talk about basically the RBI. So basically, I'm discussing these two subsidiaries because these are important for your exam point of view. There's nothing to do the further three, the remaining three subsidiaries. Okay, just keep in mind that complete the abbreviation of your 5 subsidiaries. Okay, for exam point of view again. Now the RBI, or the Reserve Bank of India, has 4 currency note printing press. Okay, now we are going to discuss the note currency printing press. See, so basically RBI has some note currency printing press, as I've already told you. It is 4, but there's a one issue that 2 of which are owned by RBI and the remaining 2 are owned by the government of India. Okay, the press which is comes under in RBI part 2, first is the Mysore Karnataka printing press. It comes under the RBI part, and the second is West Bengal Salboni. Right, and the other 2 printing press which looks the management by the government of India. First is Nasik, Maharashtra, and second is Devas. Devas is located in MP, Madhya Pradesh, which actually released the paper of a note. Okay, so these are the note currency printing press. Clear? Anyone, any issue regarding this? Now, these are the majorly, as we have seen, these are the note printing press, but still the government of India also has some minting criteria, right? So now let's talk about the minting part. Sorry. Just a minute. आप बोल दीजिए उनको. Just give me a minute again. Okay. So basically in the minting and the currencies printing part is divided under the RBI and the Government of India. As you have already seen that RBI has two printing press and Government of India has also two. Now, if we talk about in a case of minting, it is completely comes under the Government of India. Okay. And the Government of India actually manage this minting part with a one company, we can call it as a SPMCIL. Now, this SPMCIL is Security Printing Minting Corporation of India Limited. This particular entity or agency has four minting press or mints where the coins mint. Okay. These four minting presses are located in Mumbai, Kolkata, Noida, UP. Mumbai is in Maharashtra. Kolkata, West Bengal. Noida is in UP. And the one more. Anyone? Any idea regarding this? Okay. Just a minute. I'm coming on that. Hyderabad. Hyderabad. Okay. Wait. Process of making a coin. This is what minting. Any issues? Okay. Now each coin is mint in a particular minting press. Now they have a one sign or symbol we can use in a case of security minting press. Okay. So in a case of if we talk about in a Mumbai, if a particular coin is minted in Mumbai, it has a different symbol. If it is minted in Kolkata or Noida, it has a different symbol. Anyone? Any idea regarding these symbols? Huh? Symbols? Anyone? Wait, I think it is not clearly see. Wait. Hanji. For the minting part, symbols of mint. No? For example, a particular coin is minted in Mumbai Mint, right? It has a one symbol or mark, and the mark is in diamond shape. Or sometime it is right as a B. Or B. Do you have a coin like this? Or letter M is also mentioned in a case of Mumbai. No? Okay. If a particular coin is minted in Noida, it has simple a dot symbol as a symbol. Okay, if a particular coin is minted in Kolkata, typically it doesn't have any symbol, so no symbol below the denomination. No symbol. If a particular coin is minted in Hyderabad, it have a star mark, or sometime a split diamond, or sometime a dot with a diamond. Split diamond. Super MV. Okay. Okay. So this is the minting part of RBI. So basically, in today's class, we have covered especially the structure of RBI and the remaining part of banking part. Now, the RBI, Reserve Bank of India, is completely indulged in the market control system. So in your next class, we will see what is monetary policy, how it apply, and when it is going to be applied by the RBI. Okay. So yes, this is all for today's class. I hope so you like the class. I hope so you got the content and the structure of bank as well as RBI. Everyone. Okay. Okay, so here we have completed this session. Don't forget to give a feedback. Thank you so much. We'll meet you in our next class and discuss the RBI and the monetary policy. And yes, one more part. We have a gap of around Monday till Monday. So you'll have our next class on Monday. Okay, as I'm taking a leave. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Bye bye. Take care. Keep revising your content. Bye.